Hello, today I'm working on a Lenovo G50-30 laptop that has popped hinges. The hinges are broken out of the, I think they're broken out of the top case here, but I won't know until I open it up. But definitely when you articulate the hinge, bad things happen. The lower case or the top corners of the case pop open. So I suspect we might be able to get away with taking this apart and gluing things back together, forming a resin, but I won't know until I get in there. Okay, so the keyboard, there's probably another one under here. I suspect there are going to be some screws underneath the keyboard, so I'm going to take these keyboard screws out. I'm going to remove these two screws with the little keyboard icon next to them, flip it over and try to get that keyboard out before I come back and do the rest of these screws, because I want to have screws still in place when I open the hinge, because this thing is falling apart. So the customer paid for an upgrade. It looks like they put a BX500. I don't know how big this is. I know how much he paid for it, and it's a lot more than I would have charged, but especially because I don't use the BX500 or BX400. I use the MX500 at least, or the Samsung QVO or Evo. I've never been a big fan of the BX500. So keyboard. I might take the optical drive out as well while I'm here. Okay, so now I need to see if I can get this open without breaking the case even further. The last time I did this, once I got the case separated, the lid just fell back. It wasn't being held in at all. Now I don't know if this is the one that pops from the bottom or from the top. From the top. That was easy. Keyboard's in good shape. What is that? That's part of the keyboard. I think somebody might have actually ripped that off at some point when they were trying to get this open. So there's a screw there. There's one there that's been ripped off, literally. So someone took this apart and didn't realize there was a screw there. Oh, geez. Sure, it's fine. No, I don't see any additional screws in here. Just ribbon cables for the power button, for the trackpad. Hinge. It's the hinge on this side that's worst. Oh. There's bits of plastic coming out of here. Someone at some point pried this open and broken plastic off, but rotated around from where I started. Okay. I'm going to pop this drive out. $480 gig BX500. Okay, I think that's this half. This antenna wire. It depends. If this bottom case comes off, then this antenna wire needs to be disconnected. Oh, look at this. Jeez. That's completely gone. Let's see. There are two more screws up there. There's one here. So I still have a screw here, and then these two up here. Don't see any more screws. Just need to see where the seam is. So on this computer, it looks like the top plate and the bottom plate. Oh yeah, I just did that with my fingernails. Nice. Okay. That's because a lot of these clips are broken. The people who opened this before broke some clips. That's why there are all these little bits of black plastic falling out of the computer every time I flip it over. These clips are supposed to release nicely when you go around here with a pick. They generally do. So I can see this has now come off fairly straightforward. Side should do the same. I can see that there's room for, like, the opening for the VGA connector is split between the bottom case and the top case, so there's not going to be it's not going to be bound up there. Actually, it looks like the motherboard stays in the bottom case and the top case is going to come off. So I need to open this. So I do need to open this, and when I do, there's even less support on the hinges now. I'm just going to put my hands on the hinges. All right. Feel like there's a screw somewhere. I'm going to remove there are three screws holding the cooling fan assembly in. They look suspiciously like, they look like they could be the culprit here. That's not coming out. Yep. Okay. So those are captive. Okay. So the two screws that I just loosened are here and here on the, what I thought was part of the fan, but it's actually like a heat sink assembly. So there's, see, tons of plastic falling out of here. The power jack, I think this bottom case probably, it was definitely seen better days. The right side, I can see the hinges are still holding. The left side, the hinges have completely popped. So those hinges pulled the plastic right apart. I think for its own safety, I'm going to take this LCD panel off completely so that I don't break the other hinge while I'm working on this left side. Okay, so where does the video connector? So it comes in there, and then the Wi-Fi antenna are there. Alright, so I just need to disconnect the video and get the Wi-Fi antenna out of their little wire looms. This video connector is here, and it's one of these that you can pull straight up. I'm going to stick that through the case so that I can grab it from the other side. This all feels so bad. The plastic is so thin and weak. So here's the video cable, and now that's free. The wireless antenna are free. Now the LCD panel is loose, it's off. I still need to get these screws out and remove their broken screw bosses. So let's do that. Okay, so there's the screen. Now let's see what we can do about this hinge. All of this plastic has broken out of this top case. Well, that's not good. Alright, so these are the two places where the metal inserts need to be mounted back onto the frame. This, however, is a screw hole where the screw comes up from the bottom and it's completely broken out. So if you look at the other side, you can see there's a good amount of plastic here that the screw head, when the screw comes in from the other side, the screw head will rest against this plastic and hold the case together. This is gone on this side, and I don't think there's much I can do about it. I've kind of made this repair once before, and I wasn't 100% happy with it. Actually, the missing bit is right here. Maybe I can glue that back in. This might be another super glue fest here. Let's see. I think this computer needs a new bottom case. So I'm going to look up the parts and then tell the customer. I don't think I can repair this with glue. The new part has arrived for this, the new bottom case. Looks good, it's brand new. And it was only 25 pounds. Can't argue with that. All of the screw bosses. I mean, this is still a very weak design. There's a part of me that's tempted to just put some super glue in there now to reinforce this, but I don't know. I'm not going to. I'm just going to put it back together to factory spec and hope that it doesn't break again. I'll, tell the customer this is a very weak design. You have to be careful, and hopefully everything will be okay. So here's the new bottom plate, and yeah, it looks good. This is definitely the right part, so now it's just a matter of swapping components over. Figuring out the right order to do so is sometimes hard. I'm gonna have a look here. I can leave that connected to the motherboard, and that, and that. So I think I'll just unscrew these daughter boards. Need to take the speakers out probably after that. Okay, so that's taped down. I might leave that taped to that speaker if I can get the speaker out. So let's just disconnect the speaker cable, speaker connector. I mean, really, this would mean moving everything in one fell swoop. So getting these cables routed around the right place might be a little bit tricky. I definitely don't want to pull it out by accident. Okay. So that speaker, well, it's held in by the motherboard. I mean, I'm trying to do all these acrobatics just to avoid disconnecting this one ribbon cable. So now, if I do that, I've got the motherboard in one piece. So let me take the motherboard out. So there's motherboard screws, 1, 2, 3. I mean, I only see 3. There are 2 screws there, but I think those are the SATA connector. Well, let's try it. That was very loose. That was quite loose. Really, just those 3? Yep. Okay. So I might set that where it belongs, but these speakers have to go in first. So I'm going to get that speaker out, and this one here should just come out fairly easily once I remove this from the tape that's on here. Don't want to damage this cable. Okay. Because that is the audio in a USB 2 connector. So now that speaker comes out. Now, is that everything? Yeah. Some more of the plastic just fell out. Okay, so there's the new one. I'm gonna slide this motherboard out of the way a little bit so that I can make the speaker set in place. All right. And then I'll run the wires back through the wire loom the way they were before, because they were very tidy. Right. Maybe I shouldn't have that so tight so that I still have some slack to do the other side. So I won't quite finish. Let's do this side now. Okay. Okay, not bad. I had originally quoted 1 hour of labor for this job, but actually, I think I might be able to give this back for just half an hour of my time. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. I hope not. So let's see. Hopefully everything goes smoothly from here on out, because it has gone smoothly so far. All right. Now the routing of this cable, I'm not exactly sure where this all goes. I feel like that wants to go down into there, but maybe not. I don't know. So that sits above the hinge. Okay, well, let's put the back on. Oh, there is still a one of the exterior screws, one of the bottom screws, stuck in this lid. So I need to get that out before we can proceed. Just trying to hold this lid very steady while I do this so that I don't put pressure on those single screws. Still, this 2-screw setup isn't very strong. It requires the third screw on either side once you put the top plate on and screw the screws in from the bottom to finish the support here. You have to get 3 screws on each side. All right, now how does this clip in there? I think just like that. So that's in. I need to get that tucked out of the way. Okay. And then I'll shove this graphics connector through to the bottom. Not sure how that fits into this loom with the power connector. Maybe it goes in first. I think it might. So I'm just laying the video connector through this little channel and then through the gap so that I can come into the other side of the board. And now I'll lay the power connector on top of that in this little wire loom channel. Power cord has excessive length and it's just kind of crammed in there, I guess. I think that's everything from this side. I need to route this antenna cable. I guess you'd call them wires, antenna wires. Fiddly. Oh, come on. There we go. So over, under, over. Pull that tight-ish. So let's see, that goes through the hole right here. Alright, I think that's how that goes. Gonna set the top plate on. Keyboard in. Oh yeah, the keyboard was missing one of these supports. It got ripped off. It wasn't by me. Beautiful. Lovely. So this is the keyboard screw. Beautiful. Something's wrong. It's like there are no threads in there. And that screw is in the bottom of the hole. Oh no, do I have to take this all the way off again? So that's in the new... Oh no, it's not in the new bottom case, it's damaged to the top plate. Okay, so I can take the top plate back off and glue that insert back into place. I think we'll be okay there. No need to replace both the top plate and the bottom case. So take my screws back out, and I think this half-hour job is indeed a 1-hour job. We have a missing screw boss right here. This is meant to sit right in there. Okay, so I'm just going to get the super glue prepared, and I'll be back. Alright, so when I wasn't recording, I just stuffed this back in there, and now I've put a little bit of glue around the seam. It's a very tight fit, and so I think just putting a little glue around the edges will help. And then I might have to put a slightly, I just need to get the screw length right when I go to screw this in from the outside. So I'm just going to let this sit, and we'll be back in a moment. I mean, it might look a little bit ugly, but this resin is quite hard in it, so it's just providing extra support. It's filling in the broken bit of plastic and attaching it to the base. So no, I'm happy. I just need to let this dry, you know, to let it cure a bit more. I might put the laptop back together while this is curing, and that'll just be the last screw that I put in. These bottom cases are so flimsy. It's just not funny. They're definitely not meant to be opened when the thing is taken apart. So I'm going to do this bottom left corner last, because that's where we just did the glue repair. But I'll do I'll do all the rest of the screws. Okay, snapping back together. So that corner must have still been out. Well, we got the 3 across the top at this corner. Hard drive screws. That's in, that's tight. I'm happy. It's done. Just gonna clean this up. I think the battery's dead, which is good, so I can clean it up without turning on any of the keys. Start with the display. There's no charge light. We've got no... Right, I'm going to try this on a known good charger. Okay, it's dead. Damn it. So, this laptop that I just put back together is dead. I never actually tried the laptop before I took it apart, so I honestly don't know if it ever worked. The customer said it did, so it probably did. Just going to try it without the battery. Alright, this computer is dead. I don't know if it was dead before I started working on the case, or not. I doubt it. I don't think this customer would have lied about that. So I think I have done something wrong here. Let's just see what's going on. What the hell happened there? I wonder what that is, or was. So there's nothing on the back side of the board corresponding to that. So it's just to the right of that hole, so it'd be right here. Sorry, this hole, so it'd be right here on the other side of the board. Yeah. So right where my finger is. When am I going to learn to test things before I open them up? I mean, it almost looks like there's a gouge, like somebody hit it with a screwdriver or something, but there is, it's almost like there's evidence of heat damage here as well. Okay, I've ordered a replacement motherboard from eBay. It's arrived, I've installed it into the computer. The power light and the charge light come on, but the motherboard or the computer appears to be dead. That is, there's nothing on the display, there's no backlight on the display, and there's no fan in the computer anyway, so it's really hard to tell what's going on. There's no beep. So the video resumes at that point with me troubleshooting the issue. Right, we've got signal. I might plug in that, disconnect the battery, and I might plug in the solid state drive and see what happens. See if we can boot. Normal startup, please. So that was the Lenovo button that I pressed, apparently. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. I don't care. I don't know the password. That's fine. I'm going to shut down and see if I can put this back together and if it will work when it's in the laptop. Okay. The computer works! Well, that was quite an adventure. Thanks for watching.